What's up, my dudes? DNP, SCMB, or weak? Which one is better? This is another buy all three for different reasons. This is not investment advice. This is me talking through my investment decisions. DNP has long been a retirement darling because of its stability in both cost and payout. Having started basically New Year's Eve heading into 1987, this fund has seen some markets, from savings and loans bailouts through dot bombs and COVID, weathering these markets like Mike Tyson in his prime, which is also to say that neither share price nor NAV have kept up with inflation. But when you're getting a 7% distribution and the fund is producing roughly 10% annualized returns on NAV, she's hitting above her weight, in my opinion. With this fund, you get a fund that should continue to remain stable and pay out monthly like an ATM. I am in this fund in my brokerage account, even though the distributions can include ordinary income, capital gains, and a return of capital. It is important to note that this is a leveraged fund currently sitting at 22%, so while there is risk, it has still been able to provide stability, but it is certainly something to think about. SCMB is quite a bit newer, starting in October of 2022. It hasn't really seen many tough markets since it started just after COVID, but looking at the underlying holdings, which are municipal bonds, one can extrapolate that they should do okay in a market downturn, but have some downward pressure in a rising interest rate environment. Having payouts from municipal bonds, the dividends are largely exempt from federal taxes. So first, it belongs in your brokerage account, and second, makes the little over 3% yield more competitive with SCHD when you account for tax drag, though it probably does lack the upside potential. I like SCMB for the underlying assets and potential to maintain capital during challenging markets while still providing a relatively strong monthly cash flow engine. It is important to note that in 2023, SCMB did have a really tough year with one quarter posting a negative return, so it is not guaranteed to hold up in every downturn. Week is the youngest fund, having started in March of 2025. It has been steady Eddie since it was created, with very little volatility from opening price to today, staying right around $100 a share. Built on short-term U.S. treasuries, the stability makes sense, which is why I like this as a short to medium-term holding. The weird scammy thing our government does, which is pay you so you can pay them, is in full effect in this fund, as treasuries are taxed as ordinary income. And aside, some distributions may come out as a return of capital. I started to use my brokerage account as more of a savings account, and using this fund as a patriotic way to save money I need to keep myself from spending for 3 to 6 months while still not letting it sit idle. It is weird to have an ex-dividend date every Friday and getting about 9 cents a share every Wednesday, but it beats getting kicked in the teeth. It also beats the yields I found on either a high-yield savings account or CDs. Obviously, I am keeping it where I need to reach it in my brokerage account, tax inefficient as it is. So yeah, I like all three of these funds for different reasons. DNP for income, SCMB for the tax-advantaged nature of municipal bonds, and weak to part my cash. This is, of course, my opinion. If you enjoy this kind of content, consider subscribing, and I will see you all next week.